Hello and welcome to the channel where we talk about all things Vice and Hololive OCG and chill with friends. My name is Liam and today I'm going to be showing you my Hololive Kanata deck profile. Now, if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you enjoy what we do here, please let me know by hitting that like button. As well as that, check out my other socials on Twitch, on X and on Discord. Links are down below. But let's get into it. So if you've been following the channel for a little bit now, you'll notice that, the channel's kind of blown up over Hololive OCG. We've nearly hit 1,000 subscribers. So please, please, please help me hit that number by hitting that subscribe button. And today I thought I'd show you another deck profile, this time featuring the Goritensei herself, Kanata. But let me know in the comments below, what changes would you make to the deck? And do you think this deck is probably one of the strongest with the release of the first set? As well as that, make sure you let me know, are you excited for our special release on Friday the 20th of September? And we will be doing a live stream opening a case of the first booster set of the Hololive OCG, thanks to PT Tactician, and we'll be streaming that from about 1:30 UK time in the afternoon, so I hope you're looking forward to that. But that's enough chit chat. Let's jump into the deck profile. Starting off with our Oshi, we are of course running the Kanata Oshi, which has the squeeze ability as its Oshi skill. For 3 holo power, you can reduce the remaining HP of your opponent's center holomem to 50, and its SP Oshi skill, I'll crush you, which once per game during this turn, you can give one of your holo members' arts plus 50 power, and if it is a white holomem, it gains an additional 50 power, making it a plus 100 power. Spoilers, every single holomem in this deck is white, so it's always a plus 100, and the cheer deck, along with that, is simply 20 white cheer cards. Moving on to our holomem, starting off with the girl herself, Amane Kanata. We run 4 copies of its collab debut, which has the collab ability during your turn. Your center holomem gains plus 10 power, but if it is a Gen 4 holomem, it gains an additional 20 on top of that, meaning it's an additional plus 30 to their arts and a simple 20 damage on the main attack for Kanata. We also run 8 copies of the Unlimited debut with a 1 white energy cost, 40 damage attack, and that attack basically has to attack the center holo member of your opponent. It cannot attack the collab, but that's fine because your aim is that you are going to be doing 70 to 100 damage to your opponent's center holo mem with just 1 unit. So very, very good. And the whole point of running so many of this debut is that you want to see this card turn 1. You want to ideally see 2 to 3 copies of this turn 1. So the sooner you can get these, the better. Moving on to the first bloom, we've got the first bloom Kanata. Its bloom effect is it deals 30 special damage to your opponent's center holomem, but if the holomember is downed, your opponent does not lose life, but that's fine. You're using this mainly to whittle down your opponent's health and then be able to actually attack and take life from your opponent. It's also got a 2 energy, 1 white, 1 colorless, 50 damage attack, which can go anywhere, so you can use this to attack your opponent's collabs, which is pretty nice. And finally, we run 3 copies of the Kanata second. First of all, on collab, you get to deal 50 damage to your opponent's center holomem, and also for 3 white energy and 100 damage, or plus 50 as well if it is against a red, meaning 150 damage. And when this card downs a holomem, if this art deals 50 more damage than they have remaining, so for example, if they had 50 HP remaining and you deal 100 damage or more during this using this art, your opponent takes an additional life due to that down holomem. So if you take down a standard holomem, they will have to take 2 life instead of 1, and if you happen to take down a buzz holomem with this, they take 3 life from 1 down. This card is really, really good, especially with the Oshi, where you can reduce them down to 50 health remaining and then swing for 100. Fantastic. You guarantee to do 50 damage over what's their remaining life, and you take them down and make them take extra life, which in some situations can straight out end the game. And the final holo member we run is Tokino Sora. So she runs 4 copies of its collab debut, which when you collab with this holo member, during this turn, your center holo member does an additional 20 power, and it also just a 1 colorless 20 attack, which sure is nice, but you're mainly running it for the power buff to boost your Kanatas. And you do also run 3 copies of the first bloom Tokino Sora with the bloom effect to draw a card. It's got an extra 40 attack as well if you want to do some extra damage output, but again, you're running it mainly for the power boost of the collab, and then if you need to get an extra draw, you have access to an extra draw through the first bloom. Moving on to the supports of the deck, we run 4 copies of Ordinary PC. Again, the sooner you see your debut Kanatas, the better. So we run 4 copies of that. We also run 4 copies of the I'll Leave It To You event, just to switch your center holo mem with one of your bench. For example, if your center just takes that little bit too much damage, you can just easily retreat it back without having to waste a cheer to enable you to baton pass. And yeah, it's just a really, really good way of just basically keeping your holo members alive, making it so that your opponent cannot down your holo mems. You also run 4 copies of Stone Axe, the support tool. Reason for this, it does an additional 20 damage on output. Yes, it deals 10 damage back to you. And yes, you're not going to be using it for the effect which you normally get from the Aki Rose. However, an additional 20 damage in this deck is really, really dangerous. You can basically push your debut Kanata to hit, I believe the total amount is 90 base. In fact, I think you can even push it to even 120. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. You know, check my maths, please. We also run 4 copies of Kanata's mascot, Upao. Again, this when this is attached, it does an additional 10 damage using the arts. It can only be attached to a Kanata, and also if it is attached to a Kanata, it gains the following effect. Once per turn, during your opponent's turn, when the holo mem with this mascot attached takes damage, you deal 20 special damage back to your opponent's center holo mem. So not only are you doing some really big damage output, when your opponent retaliates and attacks your Kanata with this attached, great, fantastic, take 20 more damage. Oh, does that down you? Okay, take a life. This does let you take life if it is down from this effect. So the Upao is really, really strong. Not only is it giving you an additional 10 power pump, but it's also letting you do that retaliation damage as well. Finally, we run our limited, so we run 4 copies of the Nodoka to draw 3 cards, because drawing 3 cards in this deck to make sure you find your Kanatas and stuff is really, really useful. We also run 2 copies of Mane-chan. I would run more, but honestly, I've run out of space, so I think 2 is all you can really afford to run. And we also run 2 copies of So You're the Enemy, which again is, if you know Pokemon, a boss's orders in order to switch your opponent's center into something on their back row. So if they've got something that they've managed to retreat with some damage and go, oh, I don't want it to get hurt, fantastic, I'm going to smack it back. And you can also target your opponent's rested holo mem. So if it's something that was collab last turn, they took damage in the previous turn, they rested it back going, oh, it's safe for a bit. No, we can rip it back out to the center and attack. So if you know your opponent's got a high damage Buzz holo mem in their back row after attacking last turn, you could easily take it out with So You're the Enemy. And that is the deck profile. It's really, really straightforward. Loads of 4-ofs. You know, you're really aiming for a high level of consistency with this deck in order to get your game plan out as quick as physically possible. You're not playing around with any fancy shenanigans like you do, say, with Promise. You are just literally unga bunga, going straight to face, gorilla smash. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy what we do here, please let me know by hitting that like button, and check out my other socials on Twitch, on X, and on Discord. Those links down below. But what do you think to this deck profile? Would you make any changes? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. I look forward to hitting that 1,000 milestone, which I never thought I'd hit in like 3 years, let alone within the space of potentially 2 months. So thank you so much for your support, and I hope you look forward to more Hololive OCG content coming very soon. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.